everybody, it's Fiona here. Welcome to Mixed Media Mania on YouTube. It's a hop, and we can all have so much fun. There are prizes to win at every single stop, so make sure that you follow the little trail and you stop and you watch and you comment on every single video, because that'll put you into the running to win at least 2 prizes, if not more. So what am I making, you might ask? I decided to do a 12 by 12 canvas board piece of art with some of my leftover gel press designs. Now these designs that I've got here, this is a little bit of pressing that I've done with a stencil that I created for Donna Downey Designs. It's got some amazing bulk shapes in it, like arrows and triangles and rectangles and circles, and it's really, really great when adding it to abstract art. And all I'm doing here is I'm just tearing up some of my favorite pieces and I'm gluing them down. A little bit of a little bit of gel medium. Yeah, of course it's mixed media. A little bit of gel medium, and I've also added some ephemera pieces here. You can see I've got a little bit of piece of pattern, and I've got a stamp, and I'll add some more bits of ephemera over the top as we go. But the main thing here is that I get this bottom layer down nice and firm, so I've got some inspiration to start from. Speaking of inspiration, by the time you get to the end of this hop, you are going to be so inspired, you're not going to know where to start, because there are so many amazing artists on this hop. I think there's 20 of us. Not 100% sure. However, at the end I list everybody's name so that you can make sure that you don't miss out on anybody. And remember, as we go along, there are always prizes. Some of the prizes are from 7 Dot Studio, All in Create, Amazing Casting Products, Canvas Corp, and Tattered Angels, Carabel Studio, Deco Art, Marabou, Ranger Ink, and then there's Unwell Studio and Viva Las Vegas Stamps, which are giving away something at every single stop. How cool is that? Right, what am I doing now? Oh, there we go. So I better give you some info on what I'm actually up to. So I've done my collage, and now what I want to do is I just want to add some pretty colours to the background. I love colour. I didn't know what colours I was going to use. I just knew that I wanted to make it nice and bright. This one was going to be very, very bright. No monotone, no monochromatic, no basic on me. This is always going to be lots and lots of colour. I love to use a paintbrush, I do. However, I always find that my fingers work better. So that's what I did. I did use a paintbrush. Look, see, I used a paintbrush. I used a paintbrush to scribble some marks into the paint. That's what you use a paintbrush for. Absolutely. Now, dark colours. I love to add a little bit of dark colours to every single one of my paintings, but a lot of people don't do it because they're frightened of them. If you're really, really frightened of dark colours, can I suggest you don't use black? I've used, it's like, I think it's a phthalo blue, but it's a really lovely midnight navy blue colour. It's a really, really good option if you don't want to go down the black, path. Don't go down the black path. The other option is a Payne's Grey, because it's got a beautiful purple base to it. So as long as you add a little bit of shadow, I think that adds some more depth to your abstract art. But then, everybody's their own. Do what you want to do. It doesn't matter. It's abstract art. You're just going to feel it. It's intuitive. I can't honestly tell you what I'm thinking here, except for this bit. I'm thinking I don't like that. I didn't like that. So I got my good old baby wipe out. And that's what I love about acrylic paints, especially when you've put a base of gel medium down because you've collaged. It just wipes straight off, as long as it's not dry. If it's still wet, you can just wipe it away. Look at that. Wipe it away. And I actually quite like the way it leaves a little bit of texture in the background on my canvas board. And there's my little stamp. Whoops, covered that up. That's okay. I can uncover it. This has always been my rule. Always been my rule. When I do abstract art, if you like it, don't cover it up. If you don't like it, cover it up. It's that simple. Now here I've added some more little paint splots. Circles. I love circles. Circles make my life. They make me happy. They fill my heart. So I've added some little pink circles, and I'm starting to create some little features now. So this is where the eye will be drawn, because the background's pretty crazy. There's a lot of colour going on. There's a lot of pattern going on. So it's nice to settle the brain settle the brain. I don't think my brain ever settles, but you know what I mean. It's nice to settle everything down with some features, and mark making is one of my most favourite things to do. I could do it for hours. In fact, I do do it for hours. And again, I'm using a paintbrush. I'm just using the opposite end of the paintbrush, but that's okay. I'm still using a paintbrush. I use a paintbrush quite regularly to make marks. I just like to use contrasting colours. So you can see here where I've got this fuchsia colour underneath, and I've just put the turquoise and the lime green over the top, because we know that they're opposites on the colour wheel, so they're going to work together. Do make sure though that your background's at least a little bit dry, just a little bit, because if it's not, you're going to get a little bit of a brown muddy mess. Now, the other thing that I said earlier was the ephemera and bits and pieces, and I'm going to add a little bit more of my gel plate printing on the top here, because I kind of felt like I lost some of it in the background, and I really do want this pattern to shine through. I'm not worried that the background's not 100% dry, because what it does when I'm paletting all of the gel medium around is it picks up some of the glue, and it does actually help these pieces to meld into the background a bit more, so they don't just look like, you know, they've just been stuck on top. Here's a little bit of ephemera. Ooh, upside down. Can't have writing upside down. See how, like, when I put down that gel medium, it was covered in paint? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It adds to it. It doesn't have to be pristine clean. So I'm going to go along and I'm going to add a few more little strips of book page, just some ephemera, and I like to cluster things. I don't like everything all spread out. Like you can see, I'm starting to get a bit of a wave pattern here. When I teach my abstract canvas classes, we talk about form. And the form in this painting, although it looks insane, I have to agree, it does look a little bit insane. You'll see towards the end, the form is really almost a crooked horizon line with a bit of a wave in the middle and these gorgeous little circles. I felt like I lost that circle a little bit, so again, I just popped it back over the top. It's acrylic paint, you can do that. If you lose something, you just add it back on again. Then for some unknown, insane reason, I decided that I needed to add another colour. No, I love this. I don't love purple. For anybody who knows me, I'm not a big purple fan, but lilac, on the other hand, or cornflower blue, or whatever you want to call it, is actually acceptable in my books. And it's a beautiful, beautiful top colour. It's almost like using white. All right, here we go. Bit of lime green. What is a painting without lime green? Few more little feature spots, and then we're ready to go. Now, because these little spots look quite flat on the top, I get my palette knife out and I just etch some marks in them. And this is one of my favourite stamps from my collection. I just love the way that these two are joined together, and they came on an envelope, and so inside the envelope was this really, not old, because I'm assuming it's from the 1960s or 70s, but this old magazine cutout. Why would you put it in an envelope? I don't know who was sending it to who, but anyway, doesn't matter. And so this little number 10 is just perfect, because it's a 10 out of 10 painting. I'm really loving how this is coming together. I think it just needs a little bit more shadow, a little bit more contrast. So I bring out that really dark phthalo blue colour or Payne's grey or whichever one I used, I can't really remember. I absolutely promise I will put a list of suppliers in the comments. So for all the people that need to know what I've used, you will get that chance. I just can never remember while I'm talking. And I don't make a list. I'm not very good at making lists. I'm a bit of a on-the-fly kind of girl. Lists scare me. They freak me out. Anyway, back to the painting. So I'm doing that mark making again in that wet acrylic paint with the end of my paintbrush. See, using a paintbrush. I just love how they make these little white circles because it comes through the background. I love it. They look so good. I could do this all day. I've just got to clean the end of my paintbrush every time I do one, or else it gets a bit gobbly. Gobbly. That's a real word, you know, gobbly. And here's a little bit more of that dark blue. I just didn't feel like I'd covered enough up over here. Oh, you know that other rule about if you like it, don't cover it up? Yeah, I forgot all about that. But what I really wanted to do is I wanted to make this little stamp that I'd stuck on here stand out. So I kind of gave it a little bit of a dark border. And then I drew some lines in it because that's what you do. I love how it just shines. Like all the background just comes through. Now, pastel time. Pastel time. Do. Pastel time. Make sure your background is dry. I have tried to do this so many times without a dry background, and I have absolutely stuffed my painting. it has to be dry, or the pastel just won't take. I'm using a soft pastel here, like a waxy pastel. You could use a chalk pastel if you wanted to. You could use watercolour pencils. You could use Neo 2s. You could use, oh goodness, you could use a kid's crayon. If you really wanted to, it would not matter. Oh, the other thing that I've been experimenting with lately, I'm sorry, I speak so fast. The other thing I've been experimenting with lately is paint Posca pens. But you most definitely have to wait until your background's dry before you use those, because I've destroyed at least 4 of them. Now, here is a selection of what I call dry pencils. I've got a charcoal pencil. I've got a normal 2B writing pencil, and then I've got a really soft graphite, which is the one I'm using at the moment. There you go, that's the 2B. And I'm just scratching some little weird designs around my features and on my painting. I just love this little scratchy look. It's pretty cool. The way that I get it without it looking like I'm writing some kind of a history document is I hold the end of the pencil quite loosely and let my wrist move around. Now this is my favourite part. This is when the painting to me comes alive. Sorry about my head, but it's pretty serious stuff. I had to get in there to know what I was doing. In this little fine liner bottle is what 13 Arts sell. 13 Arts is a Polish company. Remember, everything's listed in the comments, so you'll be able to find it. It is called Splash Ink, and it is an acrylic ink. It is the most amazing stuff that I've ever used. I've tried all different kinds of recipes with, high flow mediums and gel mediums and acrylic paints, blah, blah, blah. But seriously, these guys have already done it for you. It's in a little dropper bottle, and I just pour it into my fine liner, and it dries like a beautiful, thick acrylic paint. And it's raised, so it has texture as well. And look how much it just brings the whole painting to life. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. I do always struggle knowing when to stop. That is probably one of my big downsides. But you know what? Stop when you want to stop. Stop when you're happy with the way that it looks. I just wanted to add a little bit more pink in these little shapes because I felt they kind of got lost. When I put the white around the outside, I'm like, these guys need a little bit more punch. So I gave them a bit of pink, because you can never have too much pink. You can never have too much pink. And then, you can see how hard I'm pressing. I actually broke the tip off of this while I was doing this, but I really wanted those black outlines. So you could actually use the black splash ink to do another outline, but I like the chalkiness of these pastel pens. What are they? I'll list it in the comments, I promise. And then I just wanted to, that bit, the rule, if you don't like it, cover it up. That's me covering it up, that bit there. I tried with the pastels and it just didn't work. And then I went, I like that colour. And so I added a little bit more. And that's pretty much it. I think I'm done. What do you reckon? Pretty cool? So like I said, go along, see everybody, follow the hop. Oh my God, there's so many amazing artists on this hop. Make some comments, tell everybody how awesome they are, and you could win some prizes. Thank you so much for hanging around, guys. It's been amazing. See you all again soon. Bye.